Hello, welcome to another episode of Trends presented in partnership with Travel Daily News Asia Pacific. I'm with Ross Cooper, General Manager of Andaz One Bangkok. I'm at your fantastic hotel. And Ross, I've got some really interesting questions to ask you. Let's get into the conversation. Ross, if I gave you a one free night stay at Andaz One Bangkok and asked you to experience the hotel as a guest from check-in to sunrise, what would your stay look like?
My perfect 24 hours at Andaz One Bangkok. So for me, yes, arriving, of course, have to be welcomed by the team at the entrance. My perfect experience, I think, would be maybe even arriving on a chaotic Bangkok day because the traffic's horrible, the temperature's hot, maybe even it's a rain. And the reason I say that is because once you step inside the hotel, there's this sense of, and we put the hotel together with trying to create that essence of tranquility, that escape from Bangkok's chaos. So I'd be welcomed by the team. They'd bring me up to the lobby level, where I know they would bring me and seat me in our Andaz lounge, and that's our guest lounge area. We often do check-ins there. They're going to deliver me a beautiful Thai iced tea as my welcome drink, while the team sort of gently check me in. They're going to see, ask, and understand what I want to do. And for me, my 24 hours is escape, do not much. Up to the room, and my room, I'm going to stay probably in our Andaz suite, I think. That's where I'd love them to put me. The living room, the bedroom, and even the bathroom have beautiful views over Lumphini Park. So I'm going to breathe in that green space of Lumphini, and that's going to also be my decompression. So to add to my decompression, I'm going to have a little drink, I think. I'm going to go back down to the lobby level during the sunset hour, and complimentary cocktails are offered every evening. So you'll find me perched up in a little seat, probably looking out the window or with a newspaper, enjoying my cocktail. By then I'm probably ready for a bite to eat, so I'm going to pop upstairs to the rooftop restaurant and bar, Piscari. Fun, vibrant energy, beautiful coastal Mediterranean food, perfect spot for sunset. So that's me. I'm pretty happy by that time. I'm thinking early night, maybe watch a bit of TV, read a book back in the room, enjoy the lights and the view out of the windows before I close and shut down for bed. I tend to wake up quite early, so I'm either going to hit the gym. If the weather's good, I'm going to take a run around Lumphini, go and get some fresh air. And then after that, perhaps a little dip at the pool. Beautiful views over the park as well from the pool. A few laps, maybe lays in a sun chair for a while, and then figure it's probably time to eat. So I'll head to Jing for breakfast. And I'm going to sit myself on the terrace, again, for the views, I think, because there's not a lot of spots you can feel like you're really, relaxing in Bangkok in that sense. So I'm going to be sitting on the terrace, enjoying a great selection of Western, Thai, and Asian treats. Definitely going to have myself iced coffee. That's my routine to get me going for the day. And then I'll just probably linger in the hotel, maybe wander some of the spaces, check out some of the beautiful art pieces we have, maybe do a little shopping in the mall before checkout time. And I think that's me done. I'd be happy by that. That's my weekend escape. A lot of me time, super happy, yeah. So the location is wonderful. I mean, we're sitting here right next to Lumphini Park. The hotel can access into the MTR through the shopping mall that it's part of. So you've got great connectivity across the city on the underground network system. That also connects into two locations onto the BTS, the SkyTrain, so you can explore another part of the city on that. So in terms of how and where the hotel is, it's a very central part with great connections. We also have a wonderful connection straight from this complex out onto the expressway, so you avoid all the chaotic traffic that can occur in Bangkok, particularly in the early mornings or evenings after work, and you're straight out to the airport or opposite coming back in. So very, very convenient, central to everything, and I think a great base for exploring Bangkok.
Bangkok is a city of contradiction, from street food to skyscrapers, from chaos to calm, and art and culture. Where does Andaz One Bangkok fit into the city story?
I think it fits perfectly into that story. Conceptually, our Andaz brand is about bringing the neighborhood and the elements of the location into the hotel. You see that through the design, you see that through some of our offerings, our inclusions, and basically we want people to feel Bangkok. We want them to know they're in the Lumphini area. So we bring all of those elements where we can into the hotel and we interpret that into the experience. We've tried to avoid the chaotic part of Bangkok. You get enough of that outside of the hotel. So we've embraced some of the charm and the beauty of that contrast that you were talking about when we talk about Thailand and Bangkok.
What do you see that nobody else notices at the hotel?
I think it's what this hotel's environment and design offers people. And I think it's more the subconscious offering, because once you're in here, you're very happy to relax and stay. You might sit at our bar and have a drink, and then you find yourself having another drink because you've suddenly now had this great engaging conversation with the staff. And I don't think that luxury, of course there's the physical beauty of the product and the offerings, but I think it's that subconscious, just realizing you've spent time in a space and you've almost found yourself, you suddenly realize, oh, that's the time, and it's just passed so seamlessly. And I think that's the sort of luxury that we offer, where you feel a comfort and a sense of connection beyond the physical, traditional, maybe luxury, it's nice product this or marble that and those kind of things. I think it's how it makes you feel as a guest.
What kind of traveller connects with Andaz One Bangkok most deeply? That's an interesting one.
That is an interesting one. I think someone who's here to experience the city.
Who are your guests?
Our guests are like curious travellers. They want to know where they are. They could be, for example, say shopping anywhere in many cities. But our guests are people who want to explore and have a deeper sense of what the city is about. And when we're in the hotel, we also offer that for them. So they're not forced to go out and find it outside. They'll find it anyway, naturally. But I think it's the curious traveller who wants to leave the city having felt they've learned more. And we're doing that in the hotel, and some of it may be conscious and some of it will be subconscious, but they're going to leave this hotel having their curiosity met, I think. Yeah.
There's enormous pressure when opening a hotel in a project so visible as this. How do you personally carry that responsibility?
Yes, there is a lot of pressure. You're not wrong. Look, luckily, I don't have to carry it by myself. We opened with a great team, and there's always going to be that pressure, but we've been able to overcome it and work through it together. So it's not one person carrying it all. And the opposite of that is an opening is a lot of fun. Yeah, there's pressures and there's timelines and things, but it's fun and it's bonding. And I think me and the team here, it's so enjoyable to see something grow and come to life and be part of that. And that kind of passion may come with some pressure, but it's the passion and the fun and the ability to build something wonderful that makes everything worth it. I think as a brand, it's that uniqueness of how we try and welcome all the elements of Bangkok and our neighborhood into the hotel and through the services. And there are a lot of hotels and a lot of great hotels in Bangkok. But some of them, dare I say, if you're not looking out the window, you don't necessarily even know which city you are in the world. And maybe some people find comfort in that, but for us, we want people to feel the destination. And I think also the fact that we enjoy this beautiful greenscape being next to the park, it's a wonderful alternative to perhaps other properties in the city where you're really in the cluster and noise of the city. For me, you're going to get that on your sightseeing, you're going to get that when you're out and about. So it's nice to sort of not have that necessarily when you come back to the hotel. So I think also for us, the location and that sense of green space is something very, very unique, and only a very limited number of hotels in the city can allow their guests to enjoy that.
Hotels are temporary homes for strangers from all corners of the world. What have guests taught you about people over the years?
I'm still learning. I don't think that's a class that's ever going to finish. You know, people are so different. Everyone is so different and unique. We're all individuals, and I think we can all learn a lot from each other. And over the many years of meeting a lot of guests, I've learned a lot of things, and I will keep learning. I think something that is wonderful about this business is some of those guests, that formality of a handshake or a tai wai, when it becomes that hug or that beaming smile, that's what people have taught me, I think, is that you can form some great bonds and friendships from people who we sort of term guests, but over the years, many of them have actually become what I would say friends, and it's a delight to see them come back. And we have a great time catching up and sharing stories and checking on where someone's life has progressed to, and that's always ongoing. We're always going to be learning from that type of thing. So I've been taught a lot, and there's a lot more for me to be taught from them.
Ross, when guests walk into your hotel, they immediately see luxury and a welcoming smile, and an escape from the chaos of the city outside. As general manager, what do you see that guests may not notice? Is there
Well, I think there's a lot of little things that people don't find, but if I sort of link it to your previous question about guests and what we learn about people, I think what people don't notice is how much they just sort of disconnect a little bit from outside. The spaces here are very calming, and it's not a physical detail. I think it's more of a psychological detail, but I see a lot of people who come in hot, sweaty, and maybe a little bit worked up / annoyed, or just frustrated of a hot day out in the city. Yeah, it's beautiful to explore, but what they don't see, I feel, is I see them calm down, and I see them relax, and I just see them sort of step away from that chaos. And that's something that I notice in a lot of our guests, which I don't think they necessarily appreciate where it's coming from or why, but it affects them positively. So that's my little thing I notice that people probably don't.
Imagine Bangkok as a dinner party. What kind of guests would Andaz One Bangkok be?
Andaz One Bangkok would be the insider, I think. The dinner guest who knows something that others don't know, the little cultural nuance, or the little must-stop bar, or the little have you ever tried that spot round the corner type of person. It's that guest who you want to overhear and listen to what they're saying to the person they're sitting next to, because they're just intriguing, and they're giving all these great little hints of places that you didn't know about. And if you didn't connect with that insider at the dinner party, you would have lost out on some great experiences that many others don't even know about. So we're the insider.
I'm going to sneak in one extra question.
Sure. Yes, yeah, we are. Look, most of our guests are certainly here for leisure, but we do have some smaller groups that are here for meetings or corporate, and we have this beautiful ballroom space with the windows overlooking the park. So they find it a great venue for a more intimate group, so to speak. And then weddings, yes, weddings are starting to prove very popular. When we open, of course, people had already planned other venues, and couples like to come and see the product that they're going to be celebrating their special day in. So we're actually now seeing a lot of interest in weddings, and we offer some great variety and selection of table settings and looks and feels in the space, which they really appreciate. So it allows them to personalize and tailor their wedding a lot more. So we're getting very, very good response from those meetings, weddings type small group activities as well.
Fantastic. Thank you for watching this latest episode of Trends, presented in partnership with Travel Daily News Asia Pacific. It's great to be at Andaz One Bangkok. What a great hotel. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and see you for the next episode.